Hello everyone, this is FOV again. Here is the deal with FOV. This is a podcast that runs commentaries on politics and culture. So today I want to dive into the current issue trending on the news and internet regarding the court case of the impeachment of President Ahmed Tinubu. It is really interesting, but before I go into this issue, I want to go a little bit backwards for the historical perspective of how we came about our system of government. Now we run a system something like the presidential system of government. But before this time, it's interesting. The reason I want to go back to historical perspective for us to have the context of why we are operating federal system of government is because it's interesting. We came from English colony, which operate the parliamentary system of government. Yeah, after our independence, along the way, this is not the topic anyway. I'm just giving a kind of flashback. Along the way, we kind of changed to federal system of government, very similar to that of the USA. The reason for that is America's system of government, which is not totally federalism, it's a republic kind of a thing, but is one of the most advanced and the most sophisticated system of government in human history. So that is why it's almost now universal. Every country now kind of adopt the system of America because it's the most successful kind of system of government that have ever existed in human history. So even though you can see in different countries, different kind, but the context and the principle is the same. They all look like the American system of government, which is the democracy of three-tier system of government that have the executive, the legislature, and the judiciary. So the reason for that is goes back to history, to how America got this independence. Remember, America itself was a colony to England. So they were English colony. But when they revolted and have their independence, they did not want to go back to the kingship, to have just one king that rules them. So they needed something else. And they said they have this president to rule over them rather than a president. Somebody that the people can elect and choose by themselves to rule them rather than hereditary system of monarchy, whereby somebody passed to his children and to his children and to his children. So they needed themselves to be able to choose at a certain period of time for somebody to rule them, and when they don't like it, they have that chance to say go away. So they now come up with this president who will now rule them. But when they now have the president, they now find out that the president still have all the whole power that the king has. So he's still going to be the president that is going to rule them in his own caprice. So what they now said, no, we don't want king again. We don't want one person to just rule us. And if we put this president, he's still going to just be like the king who is going to rule us. So they now said, okay, let's divide the principle, the work of the president, the ruler, into two. We will now have one group, the president, and another group, the Congress. So what we'll do is the Congress, you will make the law. make all the law that will rule us. Then the president, you will now carry on the laws. So that means only one person not go fit just they do whatever he likes. So in that sense, they divide the work. Say, Congress, you do the law. And president, you follow, you carry on the law. So in that way, once the Congress make the law, it go pass on to the president go carry it out. And they were saying, oh, fine, like that, we don't just have only one person that is now controlling laws. They were very happy about that. But at the point, they said, no, wait a minute. We say make Congress, they make law over us. Tomorrow, they fit just make any law now. They'll say, okay, kill all of them, and they kill us. What can we do? Because we gave them that power to make any law. They now say, yeah, that's true. Okay, what we will do, we have to limit these two people power. Because if this one make law now, kill them, you go just give them to this one, and this one go through just kill us. So what can we do? They now say, let's make a third group. Okay? A third person that will control these two people. They now make the judiciary. Whereby the judiciary, they now say, okay, Congress, if you make that law, see the power we will give you and see the law where you want make for us. So if you pass that power, go make law where we not ask you to make, this man here, the judiciary, go tell you, say, because we put on here, make it a watch two of you now. As you are making the law, the judiciary, they here, they watch you. If you just make the law where it pass above the one where we tell you to make, the judiciary go tell you, say, no. You can't make that one. Not be that one they give you power to make. And in this side, if you don't make that power, that law you give the president, the executive, if you want to go carry her out, you can't go add your own journal. Waiting they not send her, you can't go to do one. You, the judiciary, you go tell her, say, see how they say make you take carry this law out. No go add your own. No go change waiting they not send you. So these three group, it can't they balance, and they were so happy about it that they now have these three groups where they balance themselves out. So this power, if you overuse them because somebody did the way they watch them. This power, if you use them because this person did the way they look at. So that becomes the three system, of governance that is now co-equal. This power where we give this Congress, consign you, executive. The power where we give executive, consign you, Congress. And the power where we give the judiciary, may they monitor you, consign any of you. So each power is very, very different and unique to each group. You guys, that is why it's now called co-equal branches. Okay? Co-equal. You guys are this one not senior, this one not senior, this one. And this work not concern this one. Now just the balance. It was so perfect that no human governance in human history have ever make it so perfect like this. And that is why the American system of government still remains the best, the most advanced system in history. And that is why everybody, all nations are just copying this kind of principle. It can be different. The government can be different, but the principle, the idea is the same. So that's why it's almost now becoming very, very universal. Okay? So that's the background of the story, how this democracy come about in America. And that's why we now, even though we started with the parliamentary system, then we now adopt this one where everybody, trained thing now, where everybody, they adopt now. So we now adopt them. We are now using our own federal system of government, which is still a little bit different from that of America, but but the principle, as I said, and the context is the same. So we now have these three systems of government where we have the executive led by the president, and the National Assembly led by, which is two bilateral camera, which is House of Representative, and the Senate led by the Senate President in Senate, and led by Speaker in the House. Then we now have the judiciary, which is the court system, which now monitor these two people. So in context and principle is the same. So most of these three systems, they are co-equal branches, and they have what they call separation of power. As I explained before, the power we the people give each of these three groups, consign each of them, they their own, consign them. So that's why it's called separation of power, because they are co-equal in branches. So that is the background of the story. So now in Nigeria, it's so funny that this principle, this co-equal branches and separation of power, is no longer respected by those people that we put there, make them, they help us, they guide them. The judiciary doesn't care about the National Assembly. The National Assembly doesn't care about the executive. All of them, they do waiting their mind. They don't respect anybody. The Constitution that divide this thing, because it's the Constitution that divide all this power for them. They don't respect the Constitution, or the court, the judiciary, just they go interfere into the executive, waiting on consigner, they go there. Because all of them, they suppose they their own. But you're surprised now, if through our election and everything, the judiciary go enter into matter with no consigner for the executive. The executive go enter National Assembly for waiting no consigner. So all of them, it is really, really sad. And if we continue like this, and it's getting worse every day. During Obasanjo 1990, we started in 1999, the something started. And now, in Tinubu government, he's just so incredible. Just so incredible. Like, look at in the executive, you see Tinubu and Fagbemi and Ogbetekon in the executive. They are the one that are heading the executive under the leadership of the president anyway. And the National Assembly now by Akpabio and Abbas, Akpabio from Senate, Abbas from Rep. Then the judiciary will now give head by Mama Kekere Ekun, Madam. So right now, all these people, the executive head by Tinubu, Ogbetekon and Fabi, they are just doing their own. Consign them. They can go into judiciary, they can go into National Assembly. Akpabio and Abbas, they do their own. Just consign them. They can go into the judiciary, they can go into executive. And Mama Kekere Ekun, those ones they do with it, not even consign them. They don't just send anybody. It is, look for example, this story where I want to talk now. Couple of days ago, some faceless guys wrote a petition to a federal judge in Abuja saying that the court should compel the National Assembly to impeach President Tinubu. Compel National Assembly to impeach Tinubu. I'll explain this. In our constitution, as I said before, because of separation of power, only the National Assembly can remove our president. The reason for that is because the government is by the people and for the people, we choose who want become our president through voting. I'm just talking of the principle now anyway, not the practicality or reality of things in our country. In principle, we the people choose who becomes our president. And because we choose who becomes our president, because we are sovereign nation, we rule ourselves. We are the one that choose, say, now this one rule us. The president will go choose them. And because now we choose them, nobody go just come from one corner and remove them like that. You know? So, but we need to have a mechanism. Still talking about the king issue from America. Say, if we just give them all this absolute power, we feel do anyhow when it get there. Because human beings, we are all human. You know, absolute power corrupt absolutely. So we can say, okay, if we put this president there to rule us for certain years, and during that time, he messed up. During that time, he messed up, which in law they call gross violation of the Constitution. Because now the Constitution will tell them what they want to do. But if anybody not obey that Constitution, that is, it violate our oath, we swear to us, say he want to serve us. So because we choose our president, nobody else will remove him. There is a mechanism when he do certain things that is so outrageous to violate that Constitution, where we tell him make it protect. So we even, it comes from America system anyway, but we ourselves, we still have this system even in our culture. If you look down south Nigeria, take culture from the Yoruba or the Benin, for instance, that really have a good sense of kinship, you know, in history, you can see that even in our our history, the Benin and the Yorubas has the mechanism to their obas that committed gross violation of ethics and morals on how to deal with him and remove him from the kingship. For example, in Yoruba land, before the colonization, when Oni violate the cultural norms of the Yoruba, they have the kingmakers that will go and present something like a calabash to the Oni and said, you are no longer, you are now persona non grata. That means the people reject you and you are no longer fit to serve. Then the Oni will have two choices, either to go and commit suicide because of the rejection. It's a gross humiliation for him, for a man in those days to be humiliated like that, to be rejected. So either he commits suicide or he will go for self-exile and be banished for life. So that same system is what that comes, even though from America, but we still have it entrenched in Article 143 of our Constitution. That if a president, even though duly elected, have gross misconduct that is so abhorrent that he cannot be in that position, then the National Assembly under Section 143 will have a procedural way to go one after the other to remove the president. But that section 143 is only meant for the National Assembly. That's we the people, through our elected, the people we elect, to take our president out. So that provision in the Constitution 143 section provide the guidelines on how we go take do and take remove our president. But in this case, these faceless people, obviously they are son, with this their big name, son. They went and wrote a petition to a high court judge. A high court judge say make he compel the National Assembly, make he use that section 143 that is specially made for them to start impeachment of Tinubu. The way section 143 works is only made for only the National Assembly. Nobody outside National Assembly have right for that session. National Assembly, when they find out that president commits a violation of the Constitution, then they write a letter. They write a letter to the Senate president, say, see what this man do. Then the Senate president goes, okay, make una vote put, may we look into it. If the National Assembly vote, say, okay, let's look into it, majority vote to third of the vote say, yeah, we have to look into waiting they say this man do, this our president do. Then once the vote is in favor of make them look into it, then the Senate president, now Akpabio in this case, then will have to go to the Chief Justice of the Federation, make a select 7-member panel. These are members that are not partisan, they not be politicians, they are just like distinguished people where everybody they respect, we not get skeleton for their cupboard, which probably is going to be very hard to find in Nigeria. But if you find them, you'll get these 7 people say, okay, make una look into this allegation against Tinubu. Then una go investigate everything. They write the report. Then these people go into work and investigate all the allegations against the president. When they write the report, if the report they find the president guilty of the accusation, then the Senate president, now before all these ones anyway, the Senate president has to inform the president that see wetin allegation wey dem bring against you for House of Assembly. So the president can reply or he cannot reply. Then they continue with their investigation. When that 7 panel find him guilty, if they, just like in the previous thing, every time where this investigation they go on, they must vote. For instance, once the article of impeachment is written and they submit them to the National Assembly, they go vote. If they vote, say the vote not reach to 10, they go just leave the matter there. The matter ends there. But if it's in favor, then they continue investigation. Then when the panel that the 7 panel found the allegation guilty of the allegation, then it goes back to the House again for vote. Say, okay, these people found this president guilty. What do we do? Do we carry on, make it come out? Then they vote again. When they vote, the 5th vote say no, may we not carry on, make it. Then the something dies there. But if they vote the 2/3, majority of the vote, or two-thirds of the vote, then the president is impeached. Okay, so once the president is impeached, he will vacate the seats and the vice president comes in. But if the vice president is not available for whatever reason, then the Senate president comes in for a period of like 30, 60 days. I can't remember, but maybe 1 month or two. For during this time, for him to allow we, the people, vote for another president to continue where the other one left. So that is just how Article 143 works. Okay, only for the parliament, only for the National Assembly, and nobody or no group else. But these faceless people that are using SANS, these people that are writing these motions and petitions are SANS. Say they took it to a federal judge to compel another co-equal branch of government to do wetin dem know say they go do, wey there was no even need for them to do. And I just look, I say, these people, wetin come consign the judiciary, consign Article 143. Wetin come consign High Court judge, consign Article 143. The National Assembly has their own job they are doing when it comes to 143. Wetin come concern a separate body, they interfere for matter wey no concern. Remember, the Constitution makes separation of power. This group no go interfere for this one job. See, the judiciary now is taking upon itself matter wey no concern am. They carry go, dey force another co-equal branch, another oga of im own house, make e do wetin e want. Even the Supreme Court of Nigeria, even the Supreme Court has no right, e no get mouth to take put for Article 143. The Supreme Court of Nigeria no get any mouth. E no get any power to take interfere or talk about Article 143. And this judge carry go the talk. So and the Chief Justice, ma'am, you know, you can't just be there when your subordinate not just only embarrassing the principles of law. You can see that they are not even. Is it that they don't know these things, or because they are just so corrupt about the money they are getting from these kids? Even the sons that are right, you can't tell me that the sons doesn't know the difference between the guidelines of Article 143. You can't tell me a son doesn't know that. And why are they writing this? See, it's so corrupt that a son doesn't respect the law. It doesn't give any regard to the principle of any law. It's just only how you go take package. They go say, don't worry, make we package and go submit am to this judge. Tinubu go pay. We go cash out, don't worry. Something is just so horrible that, and ma'am, I think this cannot go on with the judiciary. This cannot go on because the judiciary is the hope of a common man. The judiciary is our hope. But if the judiciary is so corrupt more corrupt than the other two system, then where is our hope? That's why I keep saying that, sometimes if the system is like, oh, 2 or 3 bad apples in the basket, you say, okay, let's remove those bad ones so that it won't contaminate the rest. This time, it's not like one apple or two is bad. It's just like the whole basket is apple of worms, crawling, decaying worms. And there's just no way it's gonna work. No way. And this Abuja High Court judge that has no regard for the law and the principle that he feel is safeguard, I think he has no business, whether he or she has no business in the judiciary. And I'm just saying this. I believe the Attorney General should constitute a disciplinary measure. No, under, even in our constitution, under Part 1, third schedule of our constitution, give these guidelines on how to discipline recalcitrant and not behaving well judicial officials like these judges. He or she is not just abusing his judicial power like judicial overreach. He is making a mess and making a mockery of our judicial system, disregarding the separation of power and all the rules and regulations and laws and principles that our Constitution provides. And again, for him or her to entertain this motion is incredulous. This is even a motion that is so vague that you don't even understand what the redress is, what the crime is. He's so broad that he's saying the Tinubu administration violates some faceless people's fundamental human right. And I said, if Tinubu violates citizens' fundamental human right, or his government violates citizens' fundamental human right, wetin concern Article 143 for inside there? There are other laws, statutory enactment that protect fundamental human rights. If you're even going to use the Constitution, Section 46 of the Constitution provides guidelines and protection and enforcement for fundamental human rights. You can file any motion or any case under Section 46. Section 46 in our Constitution provides anything you want in the issue of fundamental human rights. Wetin concern you go concern Section 143. This judge now they ask, ma'am, Kekere Edu, please help me to ask him or her. And these kind of people are not representative of the judiciary, and they should be rooted out. Not just only rooted out, I think the Attorney General should constitute a disciplinary case against him and all other sons that are participating in this wretched and divisive and very unconstitutional and lawless motion. They should be disciplined to the extent that not just only fined, they should be in risk of losing their license. It's only this kind of measure that people like all these sons and this judge will be able to contain them, because they are using the power not given to them for not just of their own benefit, but destroying our whole system, destroying our system. So the people involved, the attorney general, the attorney general should start a case. Even the IG, the inspector general of police, should look if there is any violation of criminal code, because this has to be criminal. You know what this judge is doing and all these sons are doing are criminal in nature, and they should be investigated and be barred from participating in judicial proceeding. And for you, ma'am, Kekere Ekum, you know, I follow your work and I know the incredible job you are doing. But you're not doing enough, because if you're sitting down and under you all this rust and rotting and decay is spilling out in the public, it just shows that you are not doing your job. Not just only you, the National Judiciary Council as well. You know, the National Judiciary Council is not doing anything. And because all these things, the National Judiciary Council, the Chief Justice of the Federation, they are all corrupt. It's all corrupt offices. It's all corrupt offices. So we Nigerian citizens do not have hope and confidence in all these systems. That is why all of them has to go down. I'm not advocating for violence. I'm advocating for a radical ideological revolution from our mindset, that we will be able to pull all these things down and reconstruct a new one. What is the need of putting a concrete patch in story building when the foundation is made of clay and is broken down? It doesn't make sense for we to be putting concrete patches on the third floor while the foundation is on clay and is broken. So there is just no need for any reform of any way in any sector. There is no need for reform. There is just a need for a new constitution that we the people will put together by ourselves. Once we put that together, you will have our power back. As we have our power back, we will be able to tell whoever we put there how we can be governed. And if it doesn't govern us the way we want, we have the mechanism to present their empty calabash to them and they will be gone. That's just what I wanted to share with you guys, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks and God bless.